Hey, welcome. Today we're going to talk about a universe that you might not think about very often. It's not the one up in the night sky, full of stars and galaxies, but the one that exists right here, right behind your own eyes. Let's dive in.
So let's start with a big one, a question we all chew on from time to time, right? What does it actually mean to have a successful life? We get all these pictures from society about what it should look like, but is that really the whole story?
Is it this? A life of total quiet, of contemplation? You know, a monk whose biggest win is finding that deep inner peace, miles away from the hustle and bustle of the material world? Or is it the complete opposite? The high-energy world of a business person, where success is something you can see, you can measure. It's about growth, building something that lasts, a tangible empire.
Or maybe success is something way closer to home. For a parent, their entire universe can shrink down to the size of their child. Every little milestone, their health, their happiness, that becomes the greatest achievement imaginable.
And then, what about this? A moment of just pure, simple joy. In this baby's world, at this very second, is there anything more successful than this? All of these examples, they show us that success isn't some single fixed point on a map. It's more like a mosaic, built from what we personally choose to see. And that leads us to a really powerful idea. The world you live in isn't some fixed, objective place that's the same for everyone. The universe you actually experience is only as big and as real as your own awareness. Think about an astrophysicist. For them, the universe is this grand, cosmic stage. It's full of mind-bending mysteries, planets, galaxies, all of it. Their entire reality is shaped by trying to understand the sheer vastness of what's out there. But then you look at a newborn baby. Their universe is so much smaller, right? It's the warmth of a touch, the sound of a voice, that simple, profound connection. Their whole reality is built from that. So you have to ask, who really has the bigger universe?
I love this quote because it gives us such a great way to picture this. It's kind of like you're driving into a dark, unlit city at night. The world only exists where your headlights are pointed. Wherever your attention, your energy goes, that part of the world lights up and becomes real for you. Everything else is just out there in the dark, waiting.
Okay, so if our awareness shapes our universe, then it's our choices that decide which path we take through it. Every single decision we make, big or small, literally carves out one reality from a near infinite number of other possibilities. This is a perfect snapshot of one of those moments, a real fork in the road. You see a stranger just living in her own moment in the rain, and right then, in that instant, countless potential universes splinter off. There's one where you walk up and say hello, and a million others where you just walk on by. Each choice creates a totally different story. But this brings up an even deeper question, doesn't it? If our choices create our world, what's guiding those choices in the first place? Is it our wisdom, our past mistakes, something else we can't even put our finger on? How free are we, really? And our perception of this whole journey is also completely, weird. Just imagine for a second that your entire life, 100 years of love, loss, and learning, all happens inside a soap bubble that, to an outsider, pops in less than a second. Or the opposite. Imagine living so long that just taking a single step forward takes an entire day. It's a wild thought, but it shows us that our entire experience of time is all in our heads.
So, if our reality is so personal and subjective, what on earth does that mean for the people we're closest to? This is where we get into this idea of Maya, or illusion, inside the bonds we think we know so well. And trust me, this realization can change everything.
This quote just hits so hard. It's about that sudden, profound moment when you see someone you love, in this case a mother, not just as your mom, but as a separate person, a whole individual on their own journey with their own thoughts and struggles. And in that moment, the person who means the world to you also becomes, in a way, a stranger you've been given the incredible gift of knowing. And this leads to what we could call the meant-to-be bond. It's this understanding that the people in our lives, they were strangers before we were born, and they'll probably be strangers again in whatever comes next. Now, that doesn't make the bond weaker, it makes it infinitely more precious. This specific connection with this person right now, it's a one-time only gift. When you really start to see people this way, something amazing happens. Those little grudges and grievances you've been holding on to, they just start to soften and fade away. And what rushes in to take their place is this deep sense of gratitude. You stop complaining, and you start wanting to give. You just want to make their journey a little bit easier.
And that desire to give, that brings us to something really practical. The art of true selfless kindness. The kind where you're not keeping a secret tally in your head.
Here is a super simple but incredibly powerful rule for giving. The point isn't to be cynical, it's to be genuinely generous. Give what you can, but as you're giving it, mentally let it go. Release any expectation of ever seeing it again.
See, the true reward of giving isn't getting something back. It's the act itself. When you let go of expectations, you get to keep the pure satisfaction of having helped someone. You protect yourself from the disappointment of a broken promise. And you can trust that, in its own way, the universe always notices kindness.
So we've talked about perception, about choice, relationships, kindness, all these different paths. And you know what? They all lead to the exact same place. The incredible power of right here, right now. The present moment.
This quote just paints such a beautiful picture of what it means to be present, doesn't it? It's about turning down the volume on the past and the future and just being. Letting your entire universe, just for a second, become nothing more than the buzz of a bee on a leaf. In that one tiny point of focus, there is so much peace.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. After all this talk about time and choice and huge cosmic ideas, what really, truly matters is what's right in front of you. So what has your full attention right now?